What's up, y'all? It's Brandon from Odyssey Gaming, and we are back with our look at AQD. So it's actually been a minute since I recorded last episode, so I may have to remind myself what was going on. What I do recall is that after last episode, I actually did a little bit of detail work with a cool little small grid ramp up here. I did test it; it doesn't interfere with the launch mechanism, but I believe the next thing I was going to do is to build a trailer for a little cargo shuttle here. I forget, do I have jetpack? Yes, I have jetpack. Cool. Alright, so with that in mind, actually no, this is a little trading merchant ship. Okay, got it. I think I'm back on track with where we are and what's going on. I will say that something that's actually happened between last time and this time is this little guy right here, the conveyor adapter, doesn't actually need to be here, because since last time I recorded, cool little thing that came out was the most wanted update. So if we check the conveyors, you can see that there's a vanilla conveyor converter, which sort of brings into question the utility of a few other things. Very specifically, though, this one right here. Actually, this one is a strict downgrade from the vanilla version, so I'm going to replace this one with the vanilla. So here we go. There we go, and then not sure it would be under small. Nope, it is not. Where are you? 4, 3. Could have sworn I had large conveyors on here at some point. Ah, here it is. Conveyor sorter, conveyor converter, right here. So this is the pure vanilla version. No mods whatsoever, which on the one hand, nice. On the other hand, kind of invalidates the converter we had in here. So this is basically me just saying there aren't really a whole lot of blocks that are particularly needed from that pack. As a matter of fact, I think this entire ship, with the exception of some of these armored blocks here on the sides, or the armored thrusters, is basically pure vanilla at this point. So yeah, as for the fuel, we are looking good. We're actually completely full right here, and I believe we have another tank of fuel just on standby over here, which leads us to the challenge of the day, which I believe is going to be building a trailer for this thing so we can drive it over to station instead of flying it over to the station and save us a whole lot of time, hydrogen, etc. One thing I very quickly want to check on, doing okay in data storage. Let's actually see what we got for research, because I haven't checked this in a bit.
Energy low.
I'll deal with you in a second, but once again, I actually do prefer that suit voice to the other one. Alright, so for the basic stuff, we have targeting disruption, non-violent contact machinery for vending machine, that'll make decoys, and that'll make the large cargo container for large grid. We haven't gotten anything for tier 2 yet because we need the enhanced research material, which we can't make yet because I think that needed cobalt. Just reminding myself of what the limitation was. Check production over here. Yes, that needed cobalt and actually magnesium. Okay. So let's get a trailer going. Let's see. think I might build it off of the back of this one. It'll give me an excuse to finish it off. And, I don't know, it might be kind of nice to have like a, you know, 3-long trailer kind of thing. Like a rover train, if you will. So it looks like the side to side was in the middle. And if we check out the spacing, it was 1, 2, hinge, and then rotor. So we're gonna put the rotor on the back here, which I think we're using dust armor. Yep. So 1, 2, and then we're doing. Another cool thing that came out between this episode and the last one was the small advanced rotor. Would have been nice. Not gonna lie, would have been nice to have that for this, because then I could have had a connection here. But since we are not, but since I didn't do that to start, I'm not gonna worry about it right now. Just do the basic rotor. There we go. And then hinge.
Energy critical.
Let's go take care of the energy. Where did I put the... Oh, it's over here. There we go. Oh yeah, that's right, because I moved all the hydrogen and oxygen storage over here. No oxygen gain though, which I'm gonna bet is because we have no ice in there. So I'll bet it's all been converted. Yep, there's hydrogen. So another thing to keep in mind is we may need some oxygen storage in semi-short order, but don't need it right now. So let's see which direction this hinge is kind of facing. Looks like the mark is to the left. Okay, so I actually put the hinge the other direction. Because I built it from this side going that way. Okay. So I won't be able to get it exactly. Unless I put the hinge to the mark to the right, in which case it should turn the same direction. There we go. And then... don't see a mark on the top here. See it on the bottom. Okay, so the other mark is on the bottom. And I'm guessing I need some steel plate. Yep, let's go ahead and grab like 10. I'll probably need a lot more, but for now. And I kind of want to come in from the side so I can see where the mark is. There we go. And at that point, whoop. Oops. Let's go ahead and grab the parts for this. There I can at least lock everything down. Just grab those. There we go. Yes, so I do have build vision. Again, it's been a minute, so we're getting kind of what this, well, what everything was supposed to be. Okay. That's that one. Set this one to 0. There. Velocity, we're gonna do that. Hinge lock on. And we're also gonna set our upper limit to 0. There we go. Gonna get that out of there. And then two, 1, 0. Set to 0, and then set this to 0 as well. Cool, now it shouldn't move while we're building this. Go and turn hinge lock on. Now for the rotor. What are we currently at? We are at something, so we're going to set the upper limit 0, lower limit at 0. Well, that's going to rotate to 90. Actually, no, that's exactly the direction I want. Cool. Alright, so that should be good. So we got that one, and then we're going into the wheelbase. Okay. Now, I want this thing to sit about as perfectly as I can get between the two wheels. Or between the two sets of wheels. So like I'd want one set of wheels back here, and the other set right here. So this thing is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 long. So subtracting 4 for the two sets of wheels, that means we want 12 between them. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 1, 2, 3. Yep, just checking. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Did I forget to set the hinge lock? Hinge lock on. Hinge lock on. I know I got the right lock. Okay. So I may have to use the hinge to raise this up to put wheels on it, but double check our length. That's 2 for the end of it, then 2 for the wheel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's all the interior. And that's where the back wheels go. Cool. Let's go and raise this up. And velocity. May have to increase the torque. Yep. That did it. Cool. I'm gonna need some oxygen. Do I happen to have ice in here? Yes, I do. Do I have an oxygen bottle somewhere? Production. Got a basic assembler. Consumables, tools. There we are. One oxygen bottle, please. Then we'll go and fill up the oxygen bottle over here. if the O2H2 gen was on. There we go. Alright, so now for the wheels. So let's grab... So we're using the off-road wheels. There's the right ones, there's the left ones, cool. We are using the 5x5s. They're also 2 away from the center. And at the end, grab a little more. There we go. Just while it's nice and easy, let's go ahead and add in these bits. Cool.
Energy low.
Get some more energy. And time for the wheels. These will be on the left. It's actually going to put these in as well. And there you are. Currently on the left side, so I believe that is the correct direction to go. And unfortunately, it does not allow me to put the wheel on like that. It did allow me to for the right one, or for the rear ones. And I'm out of steel plate again. There we go. So it looks like I'm gonna have to get a little creative with how I set this up, but there's actually a pretty huge gap between the two. Which makes me wonder, is it large enough for a middle set of wheels? Here they're spaced out 1, 2, 3, 4. And I believe I had 12 in the middle here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Wheel potentially. Let's go right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there's 5, wheel, 5. That'll work. That'll do it. And then once I get those wheels built, I can increase the strength on the rear ones and potentially jack up the front. Also potentially jacking up the strength on these right here. Let's actually do that instead first. Height offset max. Strength maxed. Can I add the wheel? Yes. Perfect. Boom. Alright, now we just get these bits right here. Get out of there. And we'll be able to get a total of 6 wheels on this trailer, which is a pretty big trailer, but I'd rather have more support for possibly our most valuable piece of hardware right now than not enough. There's the right side. There's the left side. Cool. So let's go ahead and set velocity to 0. Take off hinge lock. Toggle off. Turn hinge lock back on. Toggle on. Alright. So now that we got the basic platform, might need to grab a couple sets of steel plates, but I'm gonna get this set up. Here we go. Alright, so now that that's all good, let's see, what do we need this to be connected to? Well, we literally just need to transport it, and I don't really want to make this any bigger than it needs to be. So let's literally just make a spot for a connector and call it a day. That connector is located 1, 2, 3, 4 from the front. These two spots are going to be above the wheel. So 1, 2, and then the 3 after there. So 1, 2, so we're going to want the connector here. Okay, decent spot for it. Our connector is right about here. Kind of like to have those doors match up if I can, but I'm not sure how I can do that right now. So I'm going to assume it's facing forward and backward, because that's usually how I like to put bottom connectors. Okay. Don't think I should be running into any clearance issues. The connector, and then a little bit behind that with like 3, and then the legs off to the sides. So the legs off to the sides can rest on these pads right here. And then it's going to be 3 behind it. Ooh, I can actually use the merge block I put on there. The small merge block. Let's go ahead and weld this up. I can use the small merge block I put on the ship itself to connect it to the trailer. That's behind it, right? Yeah, that's behind it. But since I can use that small merge block, yeah, that way, I don't know exactly if it's going to be a huge issue, but at least I'll know for a fact that the ship is at least facing the correct direction perfectly every time, so it's a little bit better balanced. And plus it'll be acting as part of this, so in theory, I could even drive this if I added some batteries. Or even just using the batteries on here to drive it over there. That's not a bad idea. Like, maybe just using this if I need extra cargo capacity. I'll keep that in mind. But I think it's time for a little bit of welding. So grab a spot where it's gonna be nice and obvious. I'm gonna get this welded up, and then I'll be right back so we can do a little bit of the detailing. Alright, and we are back. So, got the whole thing welded up, or at least the parts that we had already placed. I'm actually going to grab just a few more steel plates before we get started. So, there are a couple of reinforcements that I want to make for practical reasons. Specifically, this one right here, under the connector. Not that the connector is the only point of attachment for the ship, it's also going to have the landing gears and the merge block. But I would rather have some protection for the connector anyway. Because that's kind of a difficult part to just fix when we're out in the middle of nowhere. There we go. And then other row of them. Then also, I think I'm just going to do this row over here as well. So maybe, just do the full thing. There we go. Alright, so for detailing along the sides, I don't think I actually did the reinforcement on any of the others, so I kind of need to hide it to make it look about the same. So I think I'm going to add these light armor slope tips, sides like this. Just make it a little bit less obvious that there's the extra reinforcement down there. It's still noticeable, but it's just not as obvious. And I might even add that to those over there. Let's come over here. And doop, 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 doop. Add a steel plate. I swear it's always on the last one that you run that steel plate. There we go. And the last little row over here. Alright. That makes it look a little bit more heavy duty, I think. Might put some striping on the sides, not sure. But I think before I do anything else for the detail work, I actually need to get into a little ship. Turn on my thrusters. Whoa. So that's actually the extra lifting thrusters, it looks like. Oh, that's my reverse thrusters. Where are my... Oh, that's all of them. Cool. Now let's go ahead and take us off of charge, off of stockpile, and then to unlock. And slowly, so we don't use one bit more hydrogen than is actually needed. Let's make our way over. Very, very gently set down. Whoa, whoa. Ah, stop. Okay. Oh. Okay. Yeah, that's not terrifying at all. So we're going to lock, unlock. Where's my disengage button? Oh, come on. We need to go back into our control panel setup. Landing gears. We want to switch lock. There we go. And turn off auto lock. And turn on the merge block. There we go. Should be merged right now. Turn off the inertial dampeners before we destroy everything once again. Whew. That brings up some functional questions like, how do we lock this to the voxel? Because there's no way that's going to be a viable way to handle this in the future. Unlocked. Still set to unlocked. Let's go ahead and toggle that. Toggle off all of our thrusters. And I think that works. Okay. First things first, safety. Whew. Let's see. I actually need to disconnect this for the moment. Let's go ahead and attach. Go around, actually, let's hop up here. Grab all the suspensions. And we're going to set the height offset down to the absolute minimum. Strength down to the minimum as well. Should also be able to, like, there we go. And I'll bet I can set the parking brake from here. Nope, I can't toggle the parking brake. Dang it. Alright. Oh well. I'm glad to see that it is low enough that that's not going to be an issue. So, sorry, let me make that a coherent thought. I'm glad to see that there's enough clearance between the thrusters and the deck that I'm not going to be cooking it. Okay. So now that I know how low it can go, question I need to ask is how low is that? Looks like it's about half a small block above where the voxel is going to be. Okay. So in theory, I could grind a hole right about here. Probably 3 long. And then put a landing gear right there. Gonna have to get a little creative with how I get it in there though. So let's grab our suspensions. Turn the strength up. Change the height offset to max. Now we can safely work under here. safe being relative. First thing, I need to get some temporary blocks right there so that I can actually place the landing gear under here. I know I could do this with a landing gear on a piston. I'm not sure that's necessarily the best possible option. There. So now, yep, that's actually going to break. Okay. Well, we have a clear line. Let's make it part of this line. A functional decoration. Now, in theory, I should be able to lower the wheels and potentially lock. There we go. Let's grab all of them. And hope it's not. It is just a teeny bit too high. Ugh. Okay. Okay. Which means we're going to replace these three. Raise the suspension again. Okay. Now realistically, how much clearance does that give me? Is that just going to be the first thing? That's totally just going to be the first thing that gets knocked off. Okay. I was trying. I was also trying to do this without another subgrid. But I can't. So, what's the minimum number of subgrids I need? I'm going to go with 1, and I'd prefer to use a hinge. Just for the reduced flexibility here. So if I go 1 hinge like this, another hinge on this side, another hinge on this side, and then yeah, let's just do 1 in all 4 of these spots. Load them up. And then drop just a few more landing gears on here. Actually having trouble seeing which direction it's going. It doesn't matter, but I'd like them all to at least be facing the same way. think that'll do it. Yeah, I have the circular bit towards the back. There we go. Grab all the parts without falling in the hole. So you gotta patch that up real fast. Alright, how'd I do? They're actually all facing the same way. All backwards, but they are facing the same way, so good enough. Okay. Now if that all works. Actually, let's see if it works first. Let's go ahead and send 0, set an upper limit of 0, and make sure that our velocities are all set to negative. So that if we hop in here, we can grab those 4 hinges, put them in a group. Let's call it transport trailer locking gears. Save. I'm going to take out a terminal and toolbar config. But we can then reverse them. Like so. And I believe if we set up a timer block and a button, we can do this even easier. So let's do that. Not sure exactly where I'm feeling the timer block. I guess this front part works. Do we have... Yes. Oh, good. Okay, we have timer blocks. Make sure we're in the small version. There we go. And then as for the button, don't want to put it on the back because we'll probably do another extension out that way. Don't really want to do it on the sides because those will probably be sticking out and it'll be hard to get to. Best option is probably right here. Let's do something like that. There. Grab our button panel. Grab the parts for the button panel. Weld it up. Configure it to basically just start the timer. Or trigger it now. There, now this thing is securely locked to the ground by 2 of them. And if I want to go, should be able to hit this button over here. It'll all raise up. And then whole thing goes up. Not bad. There we go. Okay. Everything's fine. Everything's fine now. Cool. So what else do I need to do before the sun comes up? Because I do want to at least get going after this. Even because it's going to be a long journey. Let's see, what acquisition contracts do I have? So the big one is for 857 steel plate. 800. That should be enough. Because that's going to be 1,000,000 credits. That's a lot. And the other one's going to be for 705 motors. I'm just actually going to go through the other ones, line up the productions, and once everything gets made, I might have to do some runs for resources. Once everything's made, we'll go ahead and take what could easily add up to the largest haul yet over to the station and see what we can get for it. And we are back, and oh my gosh, that took forever. Like, this is not the same night, by the way. This is literally the next night, and I think we're a good portion into it at this point. I actually ran out of storage trying to fit all those components. That's why there's an extra 2 cargo containers in here. And by the way, these 2, which I believe are 8 and 7, are basically full. It's not just those. It's also all the U2 cargo containers. I think maybe with the exception of the small ones, but you know they're not accessible on purpose. And then if we head over here, hop in the cockpit. This is also full. So to say I'm pushing the bounds of what is remotely considered to be reasonable in terms of weight capacity here might be an understatement. Yeah, like this usually clocks in around what 88,000 kilograms, and we got 123. This might be about 40,000, probably more actually, probably more mass. So I think right now we're basically just waiting on the canvas. But I'm kind of, well, yeah, we're basically just waiting on the canvas as the last thing, and then dawn, to be honest. Like when dawn comes, that's gonna be the end of I think I'm gonna call it the end of this episode because I got like go check the recording. About an hour and 40 minutes. Actually, no, because I cut out the travel. You know what? Let's go for it. Let's actually complete all of our contracts today, and call that a day. Call it a massive freaking win. So again, literally just waiting on the canvas at the moment. Head over to the basic assembler. Yep, actually we got the canvas right now. All 11 of it. I'll just carry it in my inventory because I don't know if I can fit it in this. Maybe, but I'll just keep it where I got it. And I think we'll just head out. And we're back. Oh boy. That took significantly longer than I really wanted it to. But we are here now, and I'm actually going to, first of all, find the landing pad. Then I'm going to park everything just outside of it so I don't get any weirdness with the connectors and such. Alright, so there's the landing pads. And I think It should be close enough to be reasonable. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and head on up. Complete the one that I can with just my inventory. The 11 canvas. And also check out the inventory at the moment. 712 metal grids. This might be our lucky day. Hey guys, it's Editor Brandon. I didn't realize exactly how long this video was going while I was recording it, but it ended up being almost a 2.5 hour recording. So I'm going to shorten up this last part because it's a lot of just me running back and forth with different components and basically slapping cargo containers on top of the cargo ship so that I could fit more inventory without adding a whole lot more weight, which was the entire reason why I made sure that I had a large connector pointed upwards at the well, when I was designing it. So long story short, we got everything in, we completed all the contracts. I actually picked up a few more. But then when I went back to the store to spend, I want to say it was like 6 million odd credits or so, the store had actually reset, and the metal grids that we saw at the beginning were kind of gone. So yeah, I sort of got a little discouraged at that. But I did notice that there were about 14 data pads, so I grabbed those and I decided to go through them, just see what happens, see if we get anything good. And we ended up getting two stations that were less than 100 kilometers away, which I think means that they are either on the surface of Mars and in fairly close proximity to each other, or they might be in low orbit. I'm not sure. The plan is to go check them out next time. I didn't show it, but I actually spent a little bit of money on three medical components so that we can build a survival kit onto the truck. Um, so yeah, that's basically what we're going to be doing next time, which is building a survival kit on the truck, putting an O2H2 generator on there, like in a slightly more permanent location, um, fixing up the cockpit a little bit, making it look a little bit nicer, and basically getting the truck to a place where I like it. It's not there yet. I'm being honest, it's not there yet. Right at the end, I actually did have a little bit of weirdness with a trailer hitch that ended up just being, reload the game. I can't say for certain that that was related to AQD mods. It might just be a normal Space Engineers bug, but it was a little bit weird. Anyway, that's all for today. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss the rest of my extended look at AQD. Again, thank you guys for watching, and I will see y'all later.